sunshine. Out in the country and on the street, feel the beat of motion. The world is filling with vibration. Everyone, all across the nation, rejoicing. Come join the party, one and all. Put your hands together, feel the rhythm come on. Come on, it's a summer celebration. Come on, it's a summer celebration. Oh, good times is what we got. I know the time is really hot. Nobody brings it home like HBO. Celebration. Come on, it's a summer celebration. It's your invitation. It's a summer celebration. Come on, it's a summer celebration. Come on.
New York City, once a melting pot for the greatest lightweights in boxing history. In 1932, two legendary lightweight champions, Benny Leonard and Jimmy McLarnin, met as welterweights in the old Madison Square Garden. The 25-year-old McLarnin knocked 36-year-old Benny Leonard into retirement. The Polo Grounds, 1933, lightweight and junior lightweight champion Barney Ross beats Tony Canzoneri for a second time. It was one of the great rivalries this sport has ever seen. 6 years later in Yankee Stadium, a classic rematch between lightweight champion Henry Armstrong and Lou Ambers. After a 15-round war, Ambers had reclaimed the lightweight crown. In 1972, a fiery 21-year-old Panamanian, Roberto Duran, christened the new Madison Square Garden with a convincing and controversial win over lightweight champion Ken Buchanan. Duran reigned champion for 7 years. Now in the 80s, New York's own Hector Macho Camacho takes center stage. This, the first defense of the lightweight title he took from Jose Luis Ramirez 10 months ago. One of the most charismatic champions in boxing today returns to his hometown. New York City plays host to Camacho and Rosario tonight on HBO.
On Broadway, the Satan's on wave, matching in the air. But when you're walking down that street and you ain't had enough to eat, the glitter rubs right off and you're nowhere.
About 8 blocks from the neon lights of Broadway, we are live from Madison Square Garden in New York City as HBO Sports presents the first defense of lightweight champion Hector Macho Camacho against former champion Edwin Rosario. Just 3 weeks ago, we brought you back to this historic monument of boxing, and now we return to Madison Square Garden for another chapter in an old story. As you've seen over the years, New York fight fans are accustomed to the battles of 135-pounders, and tonight is no exception. The crowd estimated at about 10,000 for this 29th World Lightweight title fight in Madison Square Garden. Hello, everybody. I'm Barry Tompkins, along with Sugar Ray Leonard and Larry Merchant. Edwin Rosario against Macho Camacho, two guys whose boxing styles are as different as their lifestyles. And Ray, perhaps that's what might make this fight. I know it's said an awful lot, I don't like this guy doesn't like the other guy, but sincerely, you have the feeling that there's something about each one of these men that the other guy just does not like.
Barry, you can feel the intensity in Madison Square Garden. I mean, there's rivalry here. And the reason I say that, because yesterday, having a conversation with Rosario in the hotel, Camacho comes storming in there and wants to challenge him right then and there. Normally, it's about 75% of the time, it's all promotional hype and gimmicks. But this is real, so this is a big, big fight for both fighters.
Larry Merchant, let's talk a little bit about the challenger, Edwin Rosario. It wasn't too many years ago they were saying that he's the Duran of the 80s, and it seems that now he's having enough problem just being the Rosario of the 80s.
Well, he's overshadowed, basically, because Camacho is a one-man circus. He's the high wire act, he's the barker, he's the brass band. And against that kind of act, he comes off as the peanut vendor. But I guarantee you, the peanut vendor can wind up taking the bows after this show. He is a quality fighter, Rosario. He's been devalued in recent years because he lost a championship fight a couple of years ago. So he just lost the fight. The best fighters lose fights. Secretariat lost races. And what I'm trying to say here is that I think Camacho has to be at his remarkable best to win the fight. And even then, it's not so sure.
Well, Hector Camacho is a self-described man with a mission. He says that about himself. Macho, he says, is just sort of his outward persona. But inside is a champion who has a lot to prove.
When last seen, Hector Camacho was working on a gaudy combination, becoming lightweight champ and heavyweight peacock, and Playboy of the West, California division, which still left him with enough time to win his second title, outclassing Jose Luis Ramirez. But after the tumult and shouting, Camacho did some soul-searching. Show business was not his life, prize fighting is. So the outrageous kid from New York packed up his sequins and boxing gloves and went east, young man, to Florida, to the rising sun, to an inland town, Clewiston, where he could concentrate on what he does best among inhabitants who are givers and who regard him as just another species of exotic wildlife.
Well, over here I feel mighty happy. I don't gotta hear the bad gossip. The way people was trying to paint me just because I'm successful. But I also realized and I learned that it all goes with the atmosphere of success. And all you gotta do is do this, ignore everything and come out here and just be yourself.
Yourself was a street kid whose talent and energy outgrew the streets. But at times, despite his attention to his profession, it also seemed he was trying to outgrow it.
To entertain the people, you gotta be a performer. And to be a performer, you have to have your gimmick. Everybody got their own little gimmick. I ain't saying I'm a gimmick because I ain't no joke. This is me. I'm flashy, I'm colorful, I'm very charismatic. I'm always looking like I should look, like the Macho Man.
Yet, in his prime, the irrepressible Camacho danced in the ring only 6 times in 2.5 years. He's committed now to making up for wasted time.
This is good for my punching power. Hey, it's doing justice for my body shots. And plus I pretend this is Rosario's hit right here. See? That's where my hook is gonna hit him. And it's time to hit. See? So then when I work on the body, there's no reason why I should get tired. Which normally I don't. But it's good because it makes my upper body look like a man. Not saying that I wasn't one before. I'll train harder so I won't have a tough fight. If that's what's making me or keeping me from having a tough fight, that's what I'll keep doing. I'll come over here really. But if you film around here, you see all the trees chopped down. It tells you something. I don't play with my training. I practice my craft, I practice everything, you know, I just don't take my things for granted, you know? I want to go inside there and perform and look different every time out. I want to look impressive and be hot all the time where people are kicking for more.
Before he could move on, Camacho felt he had to clear away people he thought exploited or held him back. One was his original trainer, Billy Giles. When Camacho broke up their relationship over financial disagreements, Giles lashed back, accusing him of doing drugs. Recently, Camacho fired his California trainer, Jimmy Montoya. Camacho has no manager. He resents paying people who he doesn't think help him. Battles with trainers, managers, and promoters has slowed but hasn't stopped him. Now he has teamed up with a wizened veteran, Marty Cohen, age 88, an unpaid advisor, happy for a chance to dance one more dance.
Now I find myself this year even more lucky than last year. They really know boxing, and somebody really want to know me. His name is Marty Cohen. I mean, I met Marty about 2 years ago. If I would have asked him to be my advisor then, I would have never gone to the disappointments and the depressions that I went through.
Hector has found what he wanted. And what he wanted. And that is by far the most important change, and everything else follows in back of it. He's smart, he's streetwise, and when you get a pupil that wants to learn, he's very easy to teach. For my last hurrah, I believe he's my last hurrah. And I just get so much pleasure out of seeing this kid happy.
And I'm fortunate to find somebody like Marty. And I'll do my part. If he asks me to give him 100%, I'll give him 300% this time. Because I'm capable of it. My quality of a person doesn't come around every day.
And if Edwin Rosario is any kind of a prophet, then Hector Macho Camacho will need 300% tonight. Camacho has painted the picture of this fight being a guy who's a hero versus a guy who wants to be. With some more words about the charismatic champion, here's Larry Merchant.
I look at Hector Camacho as a sort of Rambo Liberace, he-man and showman. He's one of those rare athletes, as Muhammad Ali once put it, who dares to be great. His speed of hand matched only by his speed of foot and mouth. A dynamic package of energy and talent and raw nerve and arrogance. He needs to be a star. The question is whether in the lightweight division, a division with more good fighters than any other division, there's anyone who can really challenge him. And that's what we'll get a clue to tonight. Where Edwin Rosario can fight, and he can punch, and he has been brought to a nice, quiet rage by the constant hectoring of Hector Camacho. We're here to find out if that means war, and we'll find out in a few minutes.
The village of Campanillas is a short drive from San Juan, Puerto Rico. It's the kind of place that no one leaves, and visitors would wonder how its inhabitants spend their day. It's a simple life, one that provides a perfect setting for the story of a small-town boy who makes good. Edwin Rosario is that small-town boy, and at one time was good enough to become lightweight champion. Like his fellow neighbors, Edwin, or Chapo as he's called, continues to reside in this area, as he lives a life far different from most fighters.
Well, this street is where I grew up since I was 4 years old. There were only fishermen who lived in this block. In fact, it was with them that I learned how to fish. They were all much older than me, and I really did not have any friends that were my age.
There's no doubt that Edwin Rosario seems more comfortable in the water than in a boxing ring. For days at a time, Edwin and his friends go to El Ojo del Buey, the Eye of the Whale, to do nothing but fish.
Fishing is something that I have in my blood. It is something that makes me feel very happy and very content. I always come here, and I have been coming here since I was 9 years old. There are times when I don't catch anything, but that does not mean that there are no fish. It is just that there are times when the fish don't come into shore, and times when they do.
On this day, Edwin came up empty-handed, but was more than happy to share his favorite fish story.
There was a day when the sea got very dark, so I went down and harpooned a fish right through the ice. I was on my way back up without a spear, and I looked down and I saw a tremendous shark under me. I did not have anything in my hand, and my heart began to tremble very fast. The shark passed under me, he turned around and came back again. I swam to the boat so fast, thinking that the shark was going to get me by the feet.
Needless to say, Edwin was quite relieved that that one got away. His rituals and lifestyle bear more of a resemblance to the boy down the street rather than the boxer next door, whether it's with his family or even at the gym where he trains. Upon entering, it's customary to shake hands and greet everyone inside. But in Puerto Rico, there are some customs that most Americans would not quite accept. Cockfighting.
Here in Puerto Rico, it is one of the best forms of entertainment. It is entertaining for the young and especially for the older people.
While growing up at home, this was Edwin's backyard. Not quite the place to play catch. This is where he helped his father condition their many roosters to become fighting cocks.
My father used to wake me up at 6 o'clock every Saturday and Sunday mornings to train these cocks. Here is one of the shacks where I would train a cock when I was very young. Just like a boxer who must run, it was my job to run the cocks in circles for 35 minutes a day.
When a fighting cock loses, it usually means death. But to Edwin, it's not quite like losing your favorite dog or cat.
When the cock loses, I don't feel bad at all. I feel the same and even happy because I am going to eat him.
Today, Edwin eats many of his meals at La Cueva de la Pirata, the Pirate's Cove, where he's also known to frequently provide the entertainment.
Devuélveme mis cartas junto con el retrato, aquel que al dorso dice te quiero hasta la muerte, aunque sea pecado.
I enjoy singing very much. I have begun to lose my shyness since I first had the opportunity to sing in front of people at the Pirata. In the last few years, my singing has become very sentimental, and I can feel my emotions rising when I sing this type of music.
Despido, que tengas en la vida dicha y felicidad.
Maybe I'm not going to be the next Julio Iglesias, but I am going to be the next champion of the world on June 13th.
You know, we should point out there is another story as regards the challenger Edwin Rosario. There were recent reports that he had failed more than one brain scan test given in various locations. Well, that flap has pretty much been put to rest, but it is worth, we think, looking back on.
Although a report was spread that Edwin had failed 4 tests in 4 different states, that is absolutely untrue.
The fact is, he did fail 2 tests, both given in Philadelphia.
He was advised by the New York State Athletic Commission doctor to go back and rest a couple of weeks in Puerto Rico, and then take the same EEG and EKG again.
Which he did in his native Puerto Rico. In addition to what is considered the most efficient barometer of boxing head injuries, the CAT scan, Rosario passed all 3 tests and was pronounced fit to resume his career.
The CAT scan was a quick confirmation that everything was okay with Rosario.
A medical report did substantiate the findings of the CAT scan and the EEG, but critics could point to the fact that the report emanated in Puerto Rico, where there is a vested interest in the career of a local hero.
The test in Puerto Rico is of much better quality than the test would have been in the New York State Commission.
The bottom line is there is a medical clearance for Edwin Rosario to fight tonight. There will be detractors, but those closest to him are supportive.
The doctor who supervised the test that Edwin is completely normal and fit for the fight.
Meanwhile, Jimmy Rosario will make his way into the ring as the challenger. Edwin Rosario, I beg your pardon, will make his way into the ring. And that is Jimmy Montoya behind Edwin Rosario. And that's a rather unusual development.
Yeah, it's a bit of upsmanship by the Rosario camp. Jimmy Montoya, as we pointed out earlier, the California trainer of Camacho, whom he fired, is now going to be in the corner of the challenger, while Camacho has a former secondary second as his chief secondary second of Rosario as his chief second. So Felix Pintor, so they should know everything there has to be known about each other.
It's kind of trading seconds, if you will. So Rosario in the ring. Puerto Rican flag being waved inside the ring. Rosario just trying to get warm.
A lot of pride and passion here among the large Puerto Rican crowd. In fact, Rosario puts down Camacho as a New Yorker. Mainland Puerto Ricans sometimes use that term in a derogatory sense for those Puerto Ricans who have emigrated to the U.S. New Yorker.
We touched on the fact that these two are such different personalities. Rosario, very inward kind of guy, and of course Camacho, he's all out there.
Well, looking at Jimmy Montoya, he's told me in the back that he has a way.
And Camacho will make Rosario wait for him in the ring. That's an age-old tactic, Ray.
Sometimes it works, but I think in this case, Rosario's been that route, so it shouldn't faze him.
Now, we should point out one thing, too. Customoto, a couple of years ago, said that if Rosario would match up with Hector Camacho, Rosario would win the fight. And Tomato said he just has better anticipation. Now, that was said a couple of years ago by the late Customoto, and whether or not that holds true tonight, of course, remains to be seen. Looking very calm. He was all business when we talked with him the other day.
Very serious individual, and I think he has a degree in psychology. So he claims that Camacho is not educated, and he was able to just keep quiet and maintain his composure.
I think the other thing that's going to be interesting tonight, too, Ray and Larry, is the fact that he actually changed his style. He was a counterpuncher, and all of a sudden, either he was told or he figured out that he wasn't really being a crowd pleaser that way, and he changed his style. So it'll be interesting to see who shows up tonight.
Well, the thing here is that he is going to move forward against a fighter who customarily moves around and tries to weaken his opponent before going in for the kill and using his fast hands. That is to Rosario's benefit, because the customary way to beat a Rosario, a good puncher who generally does move forward, is to back him up, and that's not what Camacho usually does.
Here is Hector Camacho.
Say that this outfit cost $8,000.
Understated, don't you think?
Yeah. My response is, I wonder in the new tax bill whether he's going to need an exemption to get a write-off.
That is Hector Camacho's 6-year-old son, who is with him and being held aloft by the champion. Well, the Macho Man has center stage right now. Whether he has it about 50 minutes from now remains to be seen. unblemished record of Hector Camacho. Must cost an awful lot for batteries for that outfit also. There's the tail of the tape, and Larry, really very little between these two.
There's 1 pound, 1 year, and 1 fight difference between their records. And here is our punch stat, which will give us a quantitative look at the fight, measuring the number of punches thrown rather than their quality. And Camacho has thrown, as you see, 70 to 73 punches around by average, lands about 30. Here are the jabs he threw. You see he throws a lot of jabs, but he uses it defensively. He only lands about 1/3 of the jabs. And against the same opponents, Rosario throws approximately the same number of punches, lands more of them. Boy, if they both throw that many punches, we'll see a lot of action tonight. And here are his jabs. He throws fewer jabs, but he's more efficient when he does throw it.
And the WBC rules, as always, 10-point must system. 3 judges will score the fight. There is no standing 8 count. Fighter can only be saved for the bell in the last round. The ring doctor, unlike in most cases, can stop the fight. Want to point out one other thing. Harold Letterman, who has been our in-house judge, if you will, here for HBO, will not be with us tonight. Just about an hour ago, the commissioner of boxing in the state of New York, Jose Torres, said, nope, you worked to fight, Harold, and so as a result of that, he worked the Julio Cesar Chavez championship fight a little bit earlier tonight. As a result of that, Torres said, no, you cannot work for HBO. We are not very pleased about that decision, but nevertheless, that's what we have to live with tonight, so we will not have Harold Letterman. Right now, let's go to the ring announcer, Frank Shane, for the pre-fight introductions.
Friday the 13th, this is Resurrection Day. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the world-famous Madison Square Garden, the showplace of the nation. Tonight, Don King Productions Incorporated, Don King, the dynamic premier promoter of all promoters, in association with Madison Square Garden, take great pleasure in presenting the World Boxing Council World Lightweight Championship fight, scheduled for 12 rounds between the challenger Edwin Rosario and the WBC champion Hector Macho Camacho. This WBC championship fight is sanctioned by the World Boxing Council, Jose Suleiman, president, and is approved by the New York State Athletic Commission. And the commissioners, Rose Stretman and Jimmy Dupree. The deputy commissioners, Petey Della, Jack Graham, Marvin Cohn. The WBC judges, Louis Rivera from New York City, Tony Castellano from New York City, and from Detroit, Michigan, Dr. Stuart Kirschenbaum. The timekeeper is Cecilio Pedraja. Counting for the knockdowns at the bell, referee Johnny Lobianco. The doctors in attendance at ringside, Dr. Frank S. Spoke, chief medical physician, Dr. Billy Layton, and Dr. Barry Jordan. The referee in the ring at this time, Arthur Mercanti. This contest, 12 rounds for the WBC Lightweight Championship of the World. In this corner, he's wearing black trunks trimmed with white. He weighed in at 134 pounds. His home is Santurce, Puerto Rico. He is a former WBC lightweight champion. He is the #1 contender. His career record, he won 23 bouts. He lost only 1 and registered 19 exciting KOs. Here is a very capable challenger, Edwin El Chapo Rosario. And his very worthy adversary, he's wearing red, white, and blue trunks. He weighed in at 135 pounds. He's from New York City. He was the 78, 79, 80 Golden Glove champion. He won the North American Boxing Federation Championship. He was the WBC Junior Lightweight Champion. He's a current World Boxing Council Lightweight Champion. He's undefeated in 28 professional fights, exploding 15 stunning knockouts along the way. Here is the very worthy champion, Hector Macho Camacho. 12 rounds. Referee Arthur McCarthy will deliver the instruction to the boxer.
One second, chief second. Chief second only, 1 second in the corner here. 1 second only. No, 1 second only. All right, good evening. Good evening, Ed and Hector. This contest is for the lightweight championship of the world. It will be, you will listen to all the commands. I will enforce all the rules, and you must obey the rules. Shake hands now and come out boxing at the bell. Shake hands. So Arthur Mercanti, the referee, with the instructions. Crowd pretty much in the corner. Hector Camacho, although Edwin Rosario did receive a pretty good round of applause.
You can look for Rosario to try to put pressure on Camacho from the bell in the hopes of using him up and slowing him down for the second half of the fight.
There was some thought in Rosario's camp that because of all the training, chopping wood and that sort of thing, upper bodybuilding that Camacho did, that he may slow down in the later rounds.
No, I disagree with that. I think the fact that he's only stronger, he's not heavier, so his mobility should remain the same.
I have never seen Camacho slow down in the later rounds. You saw Rosario kind of point to his ear. Perhaps he thought that Camacho butted him. I'm not quite sure what that was all about.
Both fighters came at the same time with their heads, and it was an accidental headbutt. Fortunately, there was no damage. Here, Camacho is on his bicycle, using his jab, and pretty much utilizing the ring. With Rosario trying to cut the ring off, because Rosario is better inside. He's a better inside fighter. Very good counterpuncher, too. What he's going to have to do, Barry, is slow the movement down of Camacho.
Good body shot by Camacho.
Both guys respect each other's punching power.
Left hook by Camacho. The way Camacho fought Jose Luis Ramirez to win the title was get in, punch, punch, get out.
Well, the key to beating Rosario is beat him to the punch and stand outside. Stand mobile. You can't stand there and exchange punch for punch. These guys are really going at it. So this first round, anything can happen, Barry. They both are still a little tight. That's why you see both fighters somewhat reluctant to throw a punch.
It has been said that Rosario has had problems with what his camp called tricky fighters.
Watch for the left hook of Rosario, because the way he's positioned himself, he's trying to get that hook in.
Good left hand by Camacho. He caught Rosario off balance.
Now, one thing about Rosario, he has experience. So normally when Camacho throws his punches, Rosario cover up and try to spin his opponent.
There is some talk that Rosario may have a suspect chin.
You see the way Rosario covered up very well there. Very good defense. Edwin Ramirez, he made the mistake of trying to punch too soon and wearing himself out. Here he's very patient. Trying to cut the ring off of Camacho. Camacho's very fast hands, very fast feet. Always keeps his balance.
And a good left hand again. That one got Rosario's attention. We will remind you that it is possible that both corners may speak in the Spanish language. Rosario's will for sure. And we have Tito Alba in the corner to translate at the bell.
That was a good round for Hector Camacho. as the challenger was trying to time his movement and trying to hit him on the move, at which he is usually very good.
Wait, give me the best inning.
But usually he doesn't have Camacho in front of him.
Good shot. We almost got him. Keep him boxing. Move all the time. Move. Speak down. Get the body now, okay? Get the body now. He's already hurt, okay? Take your time.
There you see Camacho, and with that fast hands darting in, a tentative right jab followed by a very good left hand. There it is once again. Amazingly quick reflexes.
You have to use the combinations before he does.
What a lot of us would like to see, Ray, is what happens when and if Rosario can land a good punch.
Well, Rosario has to get his punches in a lot faster. He has to be first. That was a good right hand. Did do too much damage. Camacho gives a lot of head feints.
And that's exactly what they said in Rosario's corner, and right now Rosario not able to heed that advice.
Rosario he starts off very slow, and here because of Camacho great speed, he can't afford to stay on the outside too long. Needs to get inside.
When we talked to him, he said he was not in great shape for the Ramirez fight. He figured he had to go out and knock him out because he didn't think he could go the distance, and he himself got knocked out. He said he wasn't in top condition for the Howard Davis fight, and he's won a very narrow decision in that fight.
Rosario has a few problems with his wrist, and he says it's well now. He's given enough rest. Another right hand by Rosario.
But again, it caught Camacho backing up.
Trying to cut the ring off Rosario. It's difficult sometimes, and trying to slow down a mobile southpaw because it's tough to get inside. Dig a lot of hooks to the body, to the midsection of the southpaw. Works very well. Rosario will have to time Camacho's punches. Every time Camacho throws a jab, he needs to step inside and get his punches off.
Another very quick left hand by Camacho. Darts in, sticks in, steps out.
Also, I feel that Camacho's a little too elusive upstairs, so Rosario needs to go to the body to slow down that movement.
Counter-punching right hand by Camacho, behind the right hand by Rosario.
Rosario got Camacho in the corner for a second, but Camacho got away.
And another good left hand, and it stunned Rosario.
Camacho at times dropped that right hand, and that's why I'm looking forward to a hook from Rosario. Rosario has a very solid, very powerful left hook. It's the left hook he's been able to put a lot of opponents down.
And a 5-punch combination. 4 jabs and then a left hand. Stop holding. And Arthur Mercanti warning Hector Camacho to stop holding. That's something that has gone on throughout the career of Hector Camacho. Earlier tonight, another fight on this card, Mike Tyson continuing his rampage through the heavyweight division, beating Reggie Gross in 1 round with a big left hand. And we should point out that contractually, HBO is not allowed to show so much as a highlight of that fight.
You have to use both hands. If he comes running, hit him on the chest. I'm out of distance. No, but we'll get it. We'll get it. We'll be there.
Stay there. Stay there. Stay there.
5 seconds out.
I felt during that last round that Rosario was getting a little closer in timing Camacho. If he can keep Camacho moving for the next 3 or 4 rounds, We would have to see whether Camacho can continue this movement over the remaining rounds.
He has been extremely up-tempo through the first two. That was a good shot by Rosario.
Again, it's not going to be one punch to slow a guy like Camacho down. Rosario throws his right hand. He needs to follow up with that good, clean left hook. Because you notice as Rosario throws his right hand, Camacho is steady moving to his right. So he comes in front of a good left hook. There's the left hook.
Very good exchange and a good right hand too, and that backs Camacho away for the moment.
That's what I was talking about, Barry. He has to come back. That right hand gets in, hits him on the chest, so a good left hook will catch him. This is a lot of movement for Camacho, and like Larry stated, whether he keep up this type of tempo.
He did keep it up pretty much against Jose Luis Ramirez, although he took a bit of a breather in the middle rounds. And Rosario having, so far, his best round.
Now Rosario is starting to close the gap between the two and starting to land some punches of his own. Camacho now starting to go against the ropes. And you see what happens against the ropes. That's to Rosario's advantage.
Camacho the counter punch that time. Combination by Camacho. Rosario did step back.
I'm waiting for Rosario to go to the body sometimes. He gets in position and he doesn't do anything.
He was a little bit short with that uppercut, but it did look open.
He started to measure his right hand. There was a right hand to the body by Rosario. Camacho retaliates with a couple right hooks to the midsection.
Crowd starting to wake up to Rosario a little bit here, Ray. And
There's the left hook.
Camacho on the ropes and Rosario hammers it. Good round so far for Edwin Rosario. That landed on the top of the head.
That may very well have been Rosario's round, his best effort, and he is beginning to reach Camacho.
Okay, all the time, see, you go this side all the time. He's not going to be able to hit you, okay? Now start watching the guy, okay? Okay. Come here. Do it again. Do it again.
Profundo. Era de nosotros, ¿está bien?
It's ours. We're winning.
Profundo.
Deep.
Por abajo no te aguanta las manos.
Downstairs he cannot beat you.
Está cagado. Está cagado. Ya se está parando, el muerto ese.
He is already stopping.
In terms that Rosario would understand as a committed fisherman, he's starting to get a few bites.
Camacho comes out very up-tempo. Flurry of punches, but good counter-punching by Rosario.
Rosario still trying to cut the ring off.
Camacho's corner telling him to move to his own right, only to his own right.
Well, because the reason is because he'll get away from the right hand of Rosario. Camacho just tied his man up.
You stop holding and hit him.
Now he's getting a warning.
Again, Arthur Mercanti's second time that Mercanti has had to warn Hector Camacho. They talked about that in the rules meeting, so Arthur Mercanti obviously has been looking for that since the opening bell. 2 warnings now for Camacho.
Rosario went to the body that time. We need to see more body shots thrown by Rosario. See, Camacho is just able to get in and get out so quickly. It's difficult to for you to get your balance in there and land some good shots. Right. You have to slow down his mobility, and the best way to do it is to go to the body.
Neither man is marked. This is the 4th round, halfway through. Rosario coming off his biggest round of the fight.
One thing about it, Barry, Rosario is making Camacho work. He's really trying to push him to the limit.
Yeah, there's no question about it. We've seen Camacho a few times. This is as tested as we've ever seen him. Got a left hand in there.
The left hand fell a little short.
Right hand by Rosario, a little bit short also.
Again, Rosario is content to throw one hand.
A little bit of blood alongside the nose of Edwin Rosario.
Good right hand.
That was a very good right hand by Rosario.
There's a cut over the left eye of Camacho.
Try to see just how bad that cut is. It seems to be above the left eye in the corner.
Barry, look at the way, the expression on Camacho. He's never been cut before. Now this could turn the tables around.
We'll see what effect it has on Hector Camacho. Another right hand. There's not a lot of blood, but Rosario scoring pretty consistently with the right hand here.
The blood is starting to drip into Camacho's eyes.
A decisive round for the challenger. Blood on the champion.
Not bad. Close your eyes. Lean back. Hold the center hard.
Okay, champ. Stay away from his right hand all the time. You're doing a good job. He's cut over here too, okay?
Close your eyes.
He's not bad. Okay, put him over here. Okay, just keep him taking away from his right hand.
Tenemos que tirar con las dos manos ahora. Ya tuviste que lo lastimamos, ¿viste?
We have to keep fighting with both hands, 2 hands. Work with him, working with 2 hands.
The way this fight is progressing, Camacho is going to have to stand and fight and try to back up Rosario very soon.
Don Thibodeau, the ace cut man in Camacho's corner, saying it's not serious, it's not very bad. Time will tell.
Well, we have a different Rosario now.
That was a good left hand by Camacho, and Rosario holds on.
I was saying earlier, we have a different Rosario. He's a little more confident, and Camacho is trying to take the confidence from him.
Another good left hand by Camacho. Camacho doing exactly what Larry Merchant just said he should do or has to do. You can see Camacho rubbing the eye. He's never been cut, Ray.
And, you know, I'm curious to see his reaction. Apparently the blood is flowing to his eyes and it's starting to impair his vision.
A left hand and Camacho's hurt. Rosario is right on him.
That's the left hook, Barry, I was talking about.
And a right hand by Rosario, who moves in for the kill. Camacho against the ropes.
He's hurt, Barry. He's ready to go now. And what's the left hook again? And the cut
Camacho is in serious trouble here. And he's got a long way to go. 1 minute and 50 seconds. Camacho trying to survive. Rosario trying to put him away. Camacho now bleeding from the nose as well as the eye.
still taking his time here.
Not wasting any punches.
He doesn't want to get arm weary. He put Camacho in some serious trouble. Camacho danced his way out of harm's reach, and now he's tying this man up.
And remember, against Ramirez, Rosario had him down twice and might have gotten a little arm weary. There was a hard shot, and Camacho again is in trouble. 30 seconds remaining, 5th round.
Camacho's legs are gone. He's still rubbly leg.
Arthur Mercanti looking at that eye very closely. Inside of 10 seconds.
Camacho's pushing the doctor away from him.
It's all right.
You all right?
Camacho has never been in this kind of trouble.
You all right, Hector?
Now we'll see the kind of champion he is.
He's getting tired. Get away with his right hand, man. Boxing, okay? He's getting damn tired now, okay? I want you to box. Move.
There you see Rosario in full control, not getting hurried, but Camacho showing some smarts and resourcefulness in not allowing him to land another full shot while he was coming in. This is the test of a champion right here.
Round number 6. Long way to go.
You notice the way that Rosario was able to put Camacho in trouble. He threw the right hand and he followed with the left hook. Perfect combination for a southpaw.
Camacho on his bicycle now.
Now you see a different Camacho because he respects the punching power of Rosario.
In the last round, he came out and tried to brawl, and obviously that was not the ticket.
Well, Camacho proved one thing. If he had to prove anything, he has a good chin. Still a lot of movement from Camacho. He looks a little fresher this 6th round. He's doing a great deal of movement.
With the right hand again, Rosario being very patient. Blood from the nose of Hector Camacho. But that eye has not opened up again here in the 6th round.
Well, they want Camacho to stay away from that right hand. And in doing so, they tell him to continue to move to his right, not to his left. Rosario is not wasting any energy. Just steady plotting his way in.
Let's go. Okay.
Rosario now, he's still doing the right thing, but I think he needs to get some punches off instead of wait. See what's happening. He's allowing Camacho to clear his head again. Because in moving in, like Rosario is doing, he needs to throw a punch, throw a jab at least. To get closer. He needs to get closer.
Camacho going downstairs on Edwin Rosario, and now Arthur Mercanti once again talks to Camacho. I think, though, that was for low blows, not for holding. Watch that low blow! And you heard Arthur Mercanti say, watch the low blow.
Rosario's still trying to get that left hook in because he knows how effective it was in that 5th round.
Camacho going back to the tactics that were successful in the first 2 rounds now. Staying away, ducking in and ducking out.
Rosario made the mistake of letting Camacho get back into the fight. Let Camacho get his rhythm back. A lot of punches thrown in the 5th round, so Rosario could be a little arm weary here.
There are different ways to dominate a round. That's time, Camacho came back, reestablished himself by dominating it with his quickness.
Keep the hands upstairs. Deep breath. Look at me. We have to throw more. I want you to throw more punches. More combination. He's hurt.
Arthur McCanty, the referee, warned about the low blows. There was a right that was low and the left that followed it was low. So of those 4 punches that were on the border, 2 of them definitely landed low.
But now it can.
Faster, let's go.
Okay, let's go. Second
It
down.
seemed to me, Ray, that the challenger tried too hard to land a big punch in the last round and consequently landed very few of any kind of punches.
Well, he was willing away. He got a little over anxious because he was able to hurt Camacho. Wasted a lot of punches and a lot of energy, too.
7th round, and again, Camacho ducks in, sticks, and ducks out.
Camacho is really fresh now, back to his old self. Rosario looks to be fresh, too. He was a little arm-weary in the 6th round, didn't throw too many punches.
And he was told about that in his corner. Now Rosario seems to want to pick up the pace and get inside a little bit more. That's where he has been effective. Good left hand by Camacho.
A very good left hand by Camacho. Again, it takes a couple of punches. Doesn't take one punch for Camacho because he's so mobile. He's going to be moving.
Well, there were a couple of punches, and he came right back, and now he jumps on Rosario. You could almost sense Camacho's confidence come back here.
Oh, yes, because like now his punches are starting to land now. Both fighters exchanged some vicious shots to the body, to the head.
Camacho on the offense now.
You can tell when both guys get on with it because they start just to move. Camacho's moves don't throw too many punches, just a jab. On the other hand, Rosario content to get a breather and not throw any punches, but stay aggressive.
We should point out also that that cut over the left eye has not bled for the last 2 rounds.
Keep coming back with something. You notice that right hand eased in of Rosario, but he has to come back, Barrett, that left hook. That's what's going to do it for him. Again, the right hand by Rosario is not coming back with the left hook.
So the right hand of Rosario is still effective, but as Ray Leonard mentioned, he doesn't seem to want to double up on it.
That movement of Camacho is not helping at all. Again, he's in position to throw it. Rosario off balance a little.
So the end of
Although
round 7,
Rosario has had the one big round in the fight, I now have the score after 7 rounds, 4 rounds for Camacho, 3 for Rosario.
Well, we go from the ridiculous to the sublime here on HBO. June 23rd, we start our daily coverage of Wimbledon 86. That's Monday through Friday, 5 to 8 o'clock Eastern Time. The highlight show at 11:30 p.m. Larry Merchant, myself, Arthur Ashe, and Billie Jean King will all be at the All England Tennis and Croquet Club.
It's the 8th round now. You have to work out real hard. I told you, he's going in the 9th.
Taking a chance for next time. We're doing okay. Just keep on moving. Stay there. Let's go. Let's go. Stay there. Stay there.
Mouthpiece.
Let's go, guys.
Mouthpiece. Mouthpiece.
Mouthpiece. Come on.
Mouthpiece it.
We're in the second half of the fight. Let's see if Camacho can sustain his pace.
Three-punch combination by Camacho.
Rosario can't allow for Camacho to get his punches off because Camacho is so quick. Rosario has retaliated. Once Camacho throws his punches, he should throw his punches back.
Upholding. Camacho getting the better of it suddenly.
I notice Camacho throws his punches and ties this man up. That's a very smart move on his part.
Watch your heads.
Again, Camacho's in the corner. This is when Rosario needs to go to work. That left hook appears.
Right now, Rosario Ray seems to just kind of be pawing a little bit.
Well, that's the mistake he's making, Barry, because he's waiting for Camacho, and Camacho quite naturally is going to take advantage of it. Get his punches in, because Camacho can deliver maybe a dozen punches before you raise your hands.
Hot, break. Both of you watch your heads. Both, let's go. No question about it. Camacho getting his punches off quicker now.
Now,
again, Arthur Mercanti tells Hector Camacho not to hold and hit. That's the third time. And now you have to think that Hector Camacho is walking a thin line of having a point taken away from him. And a fight that is seemingly as close as this one is, that could have a profound effect.
Well, Jimmy Jacobs, the manager of Rosario, stated that he should take a point when Camacho hold and hit it after a few couple warnings. We have yet to see that.
There was a good right hand by Rosario, his best punch in 2 rounds.
We've seen some very good punches thrown by Rosario, but by far Camacho's thrown more punches.
Let's have a break.
Doing well against the circus, but I still have the circus ahead.
Ese no lo peleamos mejor.
Keep the hands off.
Pero tú puedes hacerlo mejor que él.
You can do it better than him.
Quiero que te sigas moviendo para tu mano.
I want you to keep moving to your left. Keep moving to the left and use the hook.
La mano que tú tienes libre la tenemos que seguir usando. No dejes la mano libre.
And there in the middle, Livingston Bramble, WBA champion.
Classy hat.
Obviously rooting for Hector Camacho. A fight between Camacho and Bramble, much talked about. Big money fight. But Edwin Rosario has other ideas.
Bloquea la derecha que es la que te usamos. Porque estás jalando para atrás, por eso que te entra, ¿ok? Tírate para el side. ¿Ok?
Keep on going on him.
I noticed, Ray, in that last round, that Camacho stayed on the ropes a few times. You think he's getting tired?
Well, he's in very good shape, I feel, Larry, and maybe he was taking, I think he was taking a breather. But that was a mistake he made early in the 5th round.
That's just about the juncture of the fight that he did that against Ramirez, too. Good shot by Camacho, and Rosario holds on.
That punch rocked Rosario there. Camacho has resurgence of strength.
And I think Rosario's hurt a little bit here. Camacho moves in. Watch that now, let's go. Rosario took a deep breath when he backed away from Hector Camacho a moment ago.
Slight puffiness on the right eye of Rosario from those left hands of Camacho. To the body, Rosario goes. Trying to slow down the movement of Camacho.
Stop holding that head. Let's go. Play.
And again, holding and hitting. Except that I think that time he might have been talking to Rosario. Rosario, right hand.
Watch your heads. Watch your heads.
Ray, do you get the feeling that Rosario is head-hunting too much, not trying to slow him down in the body?
And in doing so, he is head-hunting, and he's starting to get a little fatigued now. I think he's missed a number of shots that he could easily score by going to the body.
And that swelling under the right eye of Rosario started to get a little worse. Camacho really started to extend him here.
Well, see, and also Rosario's concentrating on the head, and he's forgetting how fast that Camacho can move around the ring.
Stop holding. Right. Right.
And another good left hook by Camacho.
Every time that Rosario throws one punch, Camacho comes back with 2 or 3. That's the left hook. Once again, Barry, works every time. It's all elementary. You throw the right hand, you come back with that beautiful left hook.
Very quick, too.
Watch the head, both of you.
Arthur Mercante again about his 4th warning to both fighters to watch their heads. And again, Camacho about a 5-punch combination. Very quick hands.
Camacho appears to have seized command of the fight at this point.
Tenemos que trabajar más. Está dejando echar mucho, ¿sabes?
Don't let him work too much.
Take that. Take that glove. Put some more tape around it. Put some tape around it.
Ah, bien, olvídate de eso ahora.
I need the glove tape. I need the glove tape.
Let's see Camacho as he comes in, throws his furious rallies. Tremendous hand speed. I have a feeling, Ray, that if he wanted to fight that way, if that was in his character and that was in his personality, he could be giving a lot of trouble to Rosario. But of course, he knows he can dominate the fight from outside.
Take that glove, right. Stay there.
Hector Camacho in that round, according to our punch stat figures, as we have a momentary timeout while they tape the glove of Camacho, threw 30 more punches than did Edwin Rosario. Round number 10.
All right, watch that low blow again. I'm telling you now, again.
And again, a warning for a low blow to Hector Camacho from Arthur Mercante.
Camacho's found resurgent stress from somewhere. He's become rejuvenated. A lot more movement. He's throwing a lot more punches as in the earlier rounds.
All right, break.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, Ray, too, for every 1 punch that Rosario throws, it seems that Camacho counters with 3. And that's really been the factor here. And another good example of just that. Starting to pick up the chant of Macho, Macho. And again, 4 punches that time. Back Rosario off.
You gotta give it to Camacho. I mean, the kid can fight. I mean, he's been hurt in the 5th round severely by a left hook by Rosario and came back. Weathered the storm and came back. Rosario's been making a mistake for the past 5 rounds and not coming back with anything. Camacho retaliates with 4 or 5 unanswered blows.
That right hand was caught largely on the gloves.
Camacho's nose has been bleeding for the past 6 rounds now. A slight swell over the bridge of his nose due to the right hand by Rosario.
Again, take 1, give 2.
Rosario's just trying to load up. He's trying to get one big punch in there like he did in the 5th round. It's not going to work with a kid like Camacho. This speed, mobility. There he tried to throw a combination.
Watch it, boy. You're getting too close to the heads now, right? Take it easy.
They want Camacho to back Rosario up. They yell from the corner.
Down, hold, and hit. Right. Let's go. 20 seconds remaining here in round number 10.
Again, Rosario's head hunting. The body's there. The body's going to be there.
You need these next 2 rounds big, kid. You need them. I'm telling you. You gotta have them. Close your eyes.
Hey, Chan, we need these 2 more rounds, okay? Okay? And when you get to the rope, when you be real tight, fight him too. When he throw punches, you know you're gonna miss, okay? You throw punches with him, okay? We need these rounds, okay? You hear me, Chan? Okay.
Close your eyes.
Go to your left. He cannot beat us. Now we have to work a little bit. Use the hook and the right. We have to knock him out. Is that okay? We're going to work now, okay? We're going to work.
Good. Go all out. Throw 5 6-point combinations. Okay, baby?
You heard it in the corner of the challenger. They have told him he has to win a knockout. He came into this fight saying he was going to be fighting for his life, and he'll have to fight that way in the last 2 rounds. I have him behind 6-3 and 1 even.
And even a little bit of concern in Camacho's corner. Conversation about you got to have these last 2 rounds. Now in their case, I think perhaps just a little bit of a motivating factor. In Rosario's case, a little bit of desperation.
Well, Camacho just pushed Rosario there. I think what he's trying to do, trying to really frustrate him, make him rush in, and then capitalize on his mistakes as he rushes in. They want Rosario to throw more punches, especially that left hook.
And they want Camacho to throw 5 and 6 punch combinations. That was a very sharp combination there by Camacho.
There's a cut now under the eye of Rosario.
All right, stop that spinning now. Let's go.
Not a serious point, because blood will not flow into the eye.
Yeah, he's cut in a couple of strange places, alongside the nose and well under the eye.
Camacho spins, ties his man up.
Quick break, let's go.
I'm waiting for a good left hand by Camacho, because see, there it happened. Rosario now is walking right in now. He is susceptible to that overhand left hand of Camacho. You notice Camacho throw a couple jabs, and he drops the left hand in there.
This is the 11th round, remember, WBC, 12-round fights.
All right, break. Let's have a break.
They want to see 4 or 5 punches by Camacho. And Camacho has thrown a lot of punches.
There was a left hand by Rosario, and a right hand, and Camacho is rocked again. And now Rosario tries to pounce on Camacho, who's hurt. Rosario on the offense now. 35 seconds remaining, 11th round.
He needs to stay on top of Camacho right now.
Camacho holding on, Arthur Mercanti trying to separate them.
Camacho's legs are rubbery. This is when Rosario needs to work. Camacho's doing the right thing. You see he's tying him up, holding the rope. He's trying to clear that head.
Conte throws Camacho off of Rosario. Rosario's got about 15 seconds, and he's on him again. And Camacho is still just trying to survive. Another right hand. Camacho gets out of there. His legs are not solid.
A very big round for Edwin Rosario.
Feel all right? Yeah. All right? You gotta go for it. You gotta go for it. Here, watch this. How you feeling? All right? He's all right.
Profundo. Profundo.
Deep.
Profundo.
Deep.
El último round.
It's the last round. You have to knock him out.
Oíste. No, mira acá. Último round.
There's Rosario. And again, it was the left hand. It was the left hand, not the right, that did the damage as Camacho tried to move away from the right hand. As I suggested early in this show, Camacho is going to be pushed to the limit in this fight. We're into the last round. A somewhat disappointing crowd of about 10,000 tonight, but boy, they are seeing a fight.
Last round, let's go. 3 minutes of boxing. Rosario needs them all. And in Camacho's corner, they told him to go after it, not to stay away.
Camacho is not steady at this point now.
Step back.
It's going to take another 30 seconds or so to clear his head. Especially as long as Rosario's steady pouring the action on.
Camacho trying to hold on again. It's a tired fighter that we're looking at in the champion.
You see an aggressive Rosario. Now using both hands.
Rosario's corner telling him he has to knock him out.
It's getting closer. You know it's getting closer.
Right hand, uppercut behind it. Camacho gets out of there.
Camacho is still buried, not on steady legs.
Definitely not. Tell you though, champion's showing an awful lot of character tonight.
Rosario steady, trying to get close, dropping that left hook. That left hook has been a beauty since the 5th round where he was able to hurt Camacho.
Past the halfway mark, final round.
Now he's steady coming back with the left hook as he throws his right hand.
Camacho now starting to fight back a little bit of a wrestling match. We will let you sit back, watch the last minute of this fight, listen to the crowd tell you the story. All right, quick, let's go, fight.
Camacho winning a very, very close decision. It wouldn't be any surprise if Rosario got it.
Well, you said, Larry, it's about 10,000 people here. I'll tell you, there's 10,003 that are applauding. Great show.
It was a good comeback by Camacho when he was hurt in the 5th round. He fought a very game, very experienced fighter in Edwin Rosario. I think it's a close fight. The more telling blows were by quite naturally Rosario. Camacho threw a great deal of punches, though.
Just a tremendous fight on both parts. Joy in Rosario's corner. And likewise, confidence amongst Hector Camacho's corner. The numbers on this fight, as you can see, Camacho throwing almost twice as many punches, but not connecting on nearly as high a percentage as Edwin Rosario. In fact, neither man with a high percentage. Somewhat surprising, I would have to think. A lot of confidence on both sides here, and this one, as Larry Merchant said, Ray, you have to feel this could go either way.
It can, because that last round or two, as both corners stated, hey, we need these. And Rosario was aggressive. Camacho fought back. I thought Camacho took the control and lead in the earlier rounds, but Rosario came back strong after the 5th round.
The man behind our HBO cameras is Marty Cohen, the 88-year-old mentor of Hector Camacho. Camacho has said he talks to Marty Cohen like Batman talking to Commissioner Gordon. There's a real love between the two of them. A tired Hector Camacho earned the payday tonight. So did this man, Edwin El Chapo Rosario. We asked him what that meant, incidentally. He said, oh, it's a fish, some kind of fish. We pushed him about it, and apparently it's some kind of a dolphin.
It's not a shark, Barry.
Not a shark.
That was an excellent fight.
Obviously, both men feel that they have won it, and this one is going to evoke quite a crowd reaction, I'm sure.
Well, they just embraced, which proves the rivalry is over, and I really love that in athletes.
There was a certain bitterness between these two. We touched on it at the top of the show, and it was not hype. You had the feeling that talking to each man independently of one another, that there was kind of a deep-seated dislike. And I think it was not so much a dislike of the man himself, but of the man's lifestyle.
I would agree with that, Barry. Both guys had something to prove to their people.
Arthur Mercanti standing with both fighters now, and both are going to remember this. Well, let's get the verdict. We'll go to the ring announcer, Frank Shane, for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the voting of the officials. Judge Luis Rivera votes 114 for Rosario, 113 for Camacho. Judge Tony Castellano votes 113 for Rosario, 115 for Camacho. And Judge Dr. Stuart Kirschenbaum votes 113 for Rosario, 115 for Camacho. The winner by majority decision, Hector Camacho.
Well, the crowd, as you might expect, cheers mixed with boos here, and that, of course, is going to happen in a fight that was this close. And I think it's fair to say that whichever way this decision went, you'd have to say it was the right decision.
Well, you have a crowd here with mixed feelings, and I knew a decision such as this would create the controversy.
A character-building victory for the champion, and for this man, I'm sure he's just going to hope for another day. And you and I were talking before this fight, Ray, that when a fight's that close and that tough, you're not really want to give a man another shot at you.
Well, no question about it, because, I mean, this was a very tough fight, very physical fight for Camacho. Camacho had to become resourceful, reach down, and bring that inner strength out.
You know, they said Hector Camacho had never really been hit. Well, tonight he got hit, and he showed a lot in that respect.
He showed the heart of a champion. He was able to come back and stand toe-to-toe at times with against Rosario.
Larry Merchant is with the winner and still champion. Larry?
Hector, that one tested your character a little bit. Was that the toughest fight you've ever had?
Yes, the most I ever got hit. Yes, Larry, it is. This is it. I said it. After Rosario, that was my stepping stone. It sure was.
How hurt were you in the 5th round when you cut your eye, the blood was in your eye, and you were being smacked around pretty good?
Larry, to be honest, this is the first fight I ever got hit consistent. It was a close fight. I'll be the first one to admit it. but I was the most skillful fighter, and I proved it.
It seemed that when you went to him and threw a lot of combinations and stayed on top of him, you did pretty well, but you preferred to stay outside.
Larry, that guy was hammering me with things I never got hammered with before. I know I could take it, but you know me, I ain't gonna stay there and take it. I even got cut, look. So, you know,
what was your
stepping stone?
What was your first impression when the blood started trickling into your eye in the fourth and fifth
I said,
round?
hell yeah, this is a fight. This is a fight.
You knew somewhere along the way that you were going to get tested. What do you think of your response to the test? How can you describe it?
Well, it shows my boxing skills. I know I could stay away if I want to. Rosario's a good, decent puncher. He clobbered me a few times, the way I never got hit before. But then again, I don't gotta get hit. I'll make $1 million fight, a $500,000 fight. If I could go on and come out clean, I'll do it.
Were you close to being knocked down or out in that fifth round? Because for 2 minutes he was chasing you around and pummeling you.
Larry, like I said, if you hit me with 2 or 3 good shots, I'm gonna try the hell to not to get hit with it again. And he stood on top of me. It was a tough fight like we all expected. I didn't thought it was gonna be this hard, but the guy clobbered me a few times. He tried, he stood on top of me, but thanks to my God-gifted talent, that I managed to keep him outside.
In the last couple of rounds, your corner was telling you had to go out there and fight for your life. And yet he won those 2 rounds. What was in your mind at that time?
Well, I thought it was going to be a dangerous fight if I stayed there and try to switch punches with him. The guy is a hard puncher, but then again, you don't got to be a hard puncher to knock somebody out. The guy was a real good test.
Thank you very much, Hector, and now back to ringside.
All right, thank you, Larry Merchant and the champion, Hector Macho Camacho. Very candid talk with the champion, Ray. I think it's almost unusual for somebody to say, yes, I was hurt. I've never been hit like that. Yes, I almost did go down, and I would have if he'd have hit me a couple of more times. Pretty candid conversation, I think.
Well, I guess you have to expect some of the mixed feelings with the crowd because no one has ever seen Camacho seriously in trouble. Rosario put him in serious trouble in the 5th round with that beautiful left hook. Camacho fought his way back. A couple rounds, he became lackadaisical, but he poured it on the later rounds. It was a good fight on Camacho's part, a very excellent fight on the part of Rosario.
Is it hard for a champion to admit that he's been hurt?
I don't see no reason why, because replay shows people are watching the fight, they know what happened. You can't lie about that.
All right, let's go back up to ringside now. Larry Merchant is with the challenger, Edwin Rosario. Larry?
All right, I'm here with Edwin Rosario and his doctor who will interpret for us. Edwin, did you think you had won the fight and why?
¿Pensaste que ganaste la pelea y por qué crees que la ganaste?
No, yo no tuve el borde de knockout en 3 ocasiones. Yo creo que yo gané esta pelea y se la dieron a Camacho, pero me van a dejar número 1 en el mundo.
I think that I beat him all the way, and that I hope that they leave me on #1 rating, but I feel that I beat him all the way.
Creo que el mundo se tiene que darle cuenta cuando el pueblo de aquí de Nueva York está abucheando a Camacho y a los jueces.
He says that the people of New York right now are yelling at the decision that was made, and they're yelling to his decision that he won the fight.
You had him cut in the 4th round and hurt in the 5th round. Why couldn't you put him away?
¿Por qué no lo pusiste cuando lo tenías malo en el 5º asalto?
Creo que me lastimé el nudillo.
He says that he thinks he hurt his knuckles.
When did you hurt your hand?
¿Cuándo te molestó la muñeca?
Bueno, cuando le di el primer golpe que lo tuve al borde del knockout, en la primera ocasión.
When the first time I hit him, I said he felt his knuckles that were hurting him.
Your corner in the last 2 rounds was saying that you must knock him out. That seemed to indicate they thought you were behind.
A los últimos rounds, tu esquina te dijo que tenías que noquearlo, porque tal vez pensaban que estabas atrás.
Bueno, ellos no creían que yo estaba atrás, ellos sabían que yo estaba adelante. Lo que pasa era que se vería más bonito Edwin Rosario noqueando a Camacho.
He says that his corner didn't really think that he was behind. It's just that they thought it would be much better to knock him out.
Thank you.
Pero quiero que el pueblo de Puerto Rico sepa que mi barrio Ingenio, donde reside el barrio Campanilla, que me siento contento porque yo sé que gané la pelea.
He says that he feels very happy and he wants his town in Puerto Rico, Campanilla, to feel happy with him because he knows that he won the fight.
Thank you very much, Edwin.
Gracias.
A fighter is going to lose fights if he fights enough. And Edwin Rosario lost a fight a couple of years. And the test of that fighter is not what happens when he loses, but what happens when he comes back. Will he come back? Just as in a fight itself, the test of a fighter isn't whether he's going to get hurt or whether he's going to get knocked down. It's what he does after that. Edwin Rosario really, in his sense, triumphed. And so, of course, did the champion Hector Camacho. He was hurt. We had never seen him hurt. He was tested. He did come through as a champion should. I have one more word I want to say here. Pay my respects to Milt Richmond, sports writer for the United Press International for over 40 years, a personal colleague of mine, a well-loved man all around sports, who died this week. We at HBO salute him and wish his family well. Now back to ringside.
Okay, thank you very much, Larry Merchant. Ray Leonard, your comments. I guess it's probably a fact that a champion is only really tested by how he does against his toughest opponent. And tonight, I don't think there's any question but that Hector Camacho fought and beat his toughest opponent.
Well, Camacho displayed the heart of a champion because he was essentially hurt in that 5th round. And he came back. He had to reach down, Barry. And I think that showed people that he can take a punch and he can deal with being hurt and come back strong.
All right, Ray, I have to ask you one other thing, not so much regards the fight we just saw, but rather regarding Sugar Ray Leonard. There's been a lot of stories in the newspapers that, yes, the fight with Marvin Hagler is going to happen. No, the fight with Marvin Hagler is not going to happen. As of the moment, what is the status?
Well, everything's still speculatory because I've been hearing things from Willie Petronelli, things on the wire service. As far as I'm concerned, it's all speculation. Until I hear from Marvin Hagler, then I'll know for sure whether we've made anything materialize.
All right, well, as to tonight, Hector Camacho is the winner in a split decision over Edwin El Chapo Rosario. And I think the simple fact is that Hector Camacho not only proved something to the 10,000 or so fans here at Madison Square Garden tonight, perhaps more important, he proved something to Hector Camacho. Well, we want to be sure and have you join us for 2 weeks of coverage of the most prestigious tournament in tennis as HBO Sports travels to London for Wimbledon. The action beginning Monday, June 23rd from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock every night, and a special highlight show at 11:30 p.m. during the first week. It all happens right here on HBO. Also, don't miss our next broadcast of our heavyweight unification series as Tim Witherspoon defends his WBA title against Englishman Frank Bruno. That'll be live from Wembley Stadium at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, Saturday, July 19th, right here on HBO. So for Sugar Ray Leonard and Larry Merchant, I'm Barry Tompkins saying so long from Madison Square Garden in New York City. The executive producer of HBO Sports and the producer of tonight's telecast is Ross Greenberg. Tonight's fight was directed by Mark Payton. The feature producers were Rick Bernstein, Michael J. Whalen, and Linda Christian. The assistant to the producer was David Harmon, and the production manager was Leslie Harris.